What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Ingram Orchids and More. Today we are celebrating June, and what better way to celebrate than showing you what's in bloom right here in our collection for the month of June. So let's take a look at what's blooming right now so you can have the bloom report. Let's see what's going on. Just got Tristan doing his thing over here, watering.
Everything needs water.
Looking like the crocodile hunter.
That's right.
All right, so without further ado, we're freshly watering our Encyclia tampensis, which is a Florida native butterfly orchid. We have this growing on our Robolini palm, and if you saw our previous YouTube video, we showed you where all of these are growing throughout our property, and it is just spectacular. It always puts on a show every year, and it's just looks like butterflies swarming. It's spectacular, and I wish you guys had smell-o-vision. You can just smell that baby powder. It's just such a fresh, clean smell.
It's very intense.
Very intense right now, but it's a good intense. So let's see here. We got another thing blooming here that's not an orchid. This is one of my mandavillas. Very pretty. Over here we've got our Laelia Cattleya schilleriana blooming. We have this mounted on our Robolini palm. Our Encyclia that we highlighted in our Encyclia What's in Bloom. Without fail, our Niagara Hirsute Dendrobiums are blooming. This is Dendrobium Green Lantern. Always puts on such a show, but nice big flowers there. And then a Dendrobium cruentum right here. Little flowers. Little orange tongue. So cute. These guys are always blooming. My favorite, y'all, Dendrobium Frosty Dawn. This girl don't quit. Always putting on a show. And down here, we still have our Vanda blooming away. Just a happy girl on this totem here. Our Arides falcata is about to explode here. The buds look like little cowboy boots or elf shoes. They're so cute. It's gonna be smelling good here as soon as that opens. Our Oncidium Sherry Baby, Sweet Fragrance. This one is on the way out. But we got some flowers there. Smells like chocolate. We've got our Starburst Parkside. This is in the Zygopetalum Alliance. Got some buds on there. What else? Some more Encyclias that we showcased. Got lots of buds on the way, you guys. On some Oncidiums. This is Oncidium Wildcat Yellow King. It's going to be putting on a show here soon. Our little display area. This is our Encyclia Dr. Robert H. Palmer. Nice big flowers. Smells immaculate. Oh, such a perfect combination of those lavenders and magentas. Got this guy, Jai-How Candy, blooming away. And very blue, very purple. This is ZCS QF Amanda B. Very blue. I'm hoping the picture picks that up. It's like a royal purple. Very pretty. Laelia purpurata variety Schusteriana, blooming away. The flowers are kind of spent, but we're keeping those because Tristan has pollinated them. Oh, it's beautiful, you guys. It smells like jasmine. And then the Laelia purpurata here. It's just beautiful. And then we have our Encyclia guatatam. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that lip. Very purple, little splash of green in the middle. Lots of buds on that. Dendrobium QF Wanani, blooming right there. Another Encyclia, Dr. Robert H. Palmer. If you watched my repotting video on the lipstick plant, it's blooming right now. Looks like little lipsticks. Reminds me of the Little Mermaid. When Ursula takes those stuff and uses it as lipstick. If you're a Disney girl, you know you know. And then our tree, this Robolini palm with even more butterfly orchids. Just jam-packed, loaded. And then the Encyclia that, you know, smells like feet. Just going to town. Can't tell if the Robolini palm is still there. It's just an Encyclia smorgasbord. Freshly watered, we have our Dendrobium White Grace Sato, just blooming away and more buds to come. We have some Bretonias blooming up there. I'm short, y'all. I can't get that down.
All right, so here we have some weeds. But more importantly, what we have here is Pseudopodium flavum, or also known as polyphyllum. And oh my goodness, look at the weeds. I just weeded these like a week ago. But this is a cool yellow Pseudopodium, and it smells very pungent. Kind of, I don't know, I think it kind of smells like, not to be too blatant, but it kind of smells like a mixture of urine and I don't know, something else. Very, very strong, musty smell. Some people like it. I think it's kind of off-putting, but I like bad smells though too. What else we got? We have here Dendrobium Nina Icer. That's a really cool one. Also got lots of weeds. Some Pseudopodium seed pods here on punctatum. Some jalapenos.
The little baby birds are sleeping.
Oh, the birds are sleeping. Maybe if we look at them, the mama will come over here and attack us. I don't think they're sleeping. I think their eyes just don't open yet.
It looked like they were sleeping.
Oh, there they go. Mouth open. I'm not your mama. I'm sorry. I ain't got nothing for you. Here we have Tetratonia Dark Prince. Now, I love this plant. And I had another one down here full of flowers as well. And I'm pretty sure the deer came, and since this was right at eye level, they just chewed all the flowers off of that. But they didn't chew all the flowers off of this one. This one actually had a better lip on it. This one had a nicer flower. This one has got more flowers. And for whatever reason, Dark Prince and all of the Bratonia sanguinea hybrids, they always get terrible foliage. And I don't know what it is. A lot of Bratonia hybrids do this. And it just didn't seem to stop. And no matter what you do to the plant, you can never get all that yucky foliage to stop doing that. But I love this plant. This makes just a huge show of flowers when they go off. And certain individuals of this plant will just continue to bloom and bloom and bloom. This one doesn't seem to, it puts on a lot of blooms for a month or two, and then it rests the rest of the year. But I've seen some Dark Princes that will just continuously bloom over and over throughout the year as they get to be big plants. Here we have one of my favorite Schomburgkias, or I'm sorry, Myrmecophylla. A lot of these have already been pollinated, but this is Myrmecophylla albopurpurea. So this is probably like the smallest species of Myrmecophylla. Q still considers this, they now consider this a variety, they consider this to be Myrmecophylla thompsoniana variety Thompsoniana, but I think they're full of shit. This is, in my opinion, its own separate species. The bulb shape and the flower shape is kind of similar, but I can usually tell albopurpurea apart even when they're not blooming from Thomsoniana. Thomsoniana tends to have just a little bit longer bulb, and it doesn't seem to be as wide right there at the top of the bulb. And the flower is very different because when you have a Thomsoniana alba or whatever, you know, one that doesn't have pigment, it tends to be yellow. But alba purpurea is white. You know, there's no yellow in the petals. So I mean, I consider them their own separate species. But that's just my opinion. They didn't ask me. This is, I think, Cattleya Estrella de Econquilla. I think that's Chocolate Drop by Perenniae. Hanging up here. Catherine, my dear, can you come over here and pick this plant up?
Yes.
My lovely bride is going to pick this plant up and pull it down so that we can see the flower.
Get your bananas.
Yeah, the banana orchids. So this is Myrmecophila Christina. This is another one. This one gets huge. This is one of the larger species.
Love the colors.
You know, this one's got a lot of damage because it has been sitting on that corner post getting all day sun, but I moved it right here just so I could see the flowers a little bit easier. But yeah, they turn, you know, bright yellow in the full sun. And most people look at that and think, oh no, it's yellow, something's wrong with it. But they don't tend to bloom unless you put them in enough sun to turn them yellow.
So if you're looking for a foliage plant, don't go with Myrmecophila.
So you can see when she puts that back up how tall those spikes are. The spikes
I'm 5'4" to give perspective. This is massive.
Yeah. That's why I like Alba purpurea, because Alba purpurea has its own, or it has a short little spike usually. And such a nice little dainty flower.
And then my favorite, y'all, well, my favorite that's not a Dendrobium is Grammatophyllum scriptum, variety leopard, and the clonal name is NN for Newman's Nursery. This is just starting to open up. I would have had more flower spikes if I had been more diligent and brought it in from the cold this winter, but I did not, so I'll just suffer in silence with
that's
one
my fault,
spike.
guys. I'm the one that hauls them inside, and I left this out and it got way too cold this year. So last year I think we had like 3 or 4 spikes, whereas this year we only got 1, because it did take quite a bit of cold damage on these newer growths when it was developing.
So roast Tristan in the comments for not following advice.
Yeah, there's a volunteer orchid growing in the base of this. It looks like an Arundina graminifolia, the bamboo orchid.
Did you see this blooming?
Oh, it's already kind of fading a little bit, but this is Thai Rose, Cattleya Thai Rose.
Volcano Queen.
Yeah.
It's
I
still
thought this
pretty.
plant was dead because this plant had black rot last year, and it's on the crepe myrtle here, so I'm like, just to heck with it. If it lives, it lives. If it dies, it dies, and apparently it lived.
We've got our yellow coconut orchid that was also on death's doorstep blooming.
That belongs in the trash can.
Show that and the pulse storm blooming over there. It's nice. The flower's fresh.
There's a pulse storm in here, which is nodosa crossed with Myrmecophila bryceana. So this would be MYV. It's a Myrmecophila Brassavola hybrid. It's only got a couple flowers right now. It's getting shaded out as this crepe myrtle comes into its foliage. This plant's getting kind of shady. This is being half Myrmecophila. They do like quite a lot of light. So during the winter we had more flowers on it than we do right now. I need to trim up this did I say magnolia?
It's a
Crepe myrtle. I hope I didn't say magnolia. Need to trim it up a bit so it gets a little more light in here.
Y'all, can you side with me on this? I need your help because I have been asking Tristan to get rid of this sugar cane for months.
I like sugarcane.
It's touching the shade cloth. It's uncontrollable. He's not doing anything with it. And the little growing box, the wood is just decomposing, and we can just put an orchid bench here instead. So please.
I like sugarcane. I'm the only one that chews on it and eats it, so.
Well, I'm in charge, so no. No more, no more. Or tame it at least.
A sad little one flower on this Dendrobium Lori Mortimer. I think the caterpillars ate the rest of the flowers.
No, I took them off because they were pollinated.
There's some of those native sweat bees trying to get to this. This is Neobenthamia gracilis, or this might be known as like Polystachya neobenthamia. One of those is, it got reclassified and it's one of those two. But this is from New Zealand, I think. Cute little ground orchid.
There's a fly pollinating.
I don't know if that's gonna focus. Oh, so this came misidentified. This was supposed to be Encyclia malbousii, but alas, it is Encyclia bacordii, which is, that's not a bad thing. I like both of these species. So, Encyclia bacordii on a sad little plant there that needs to be repotted.
Look at the sweat bee. Oh.
Some weeds, lots and lots of weeds. Really good at growing those.
We're the best in the game with weeds.
Mario, if you watch this video, here is your piece of your Certipodium. The big one that you gave me, this is the piece of it. Here we have hidden gold with some serious sunburn on it. I like hidden gold because it opens up red, fades to orange, and then to yellow. There's another look at that Astraea Equinquia, or however you pronounce that. And we have, it sounds like Mama Mockingbird, very upset that I am close to her nest. This butterfly orchid here is just now starting to open. Hopefully the deer don't come in, hop the fence and chew it up. Hope they don't chew up that grammatophyllum, because if they do, Catherine is gonna freak out. Here's a cute little Tampensis with a heart-shaped marking on its lip. That's pretty cool. There's a run-of-the-mill Tampensis there. Another Encyclia Tampensis. Yes, I can hear you, Mockingbird. I can hear you. This dead looking hibiscus, kind of Tampensis on it. Nothing blooming over here, right? Ooh. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this down. Hopefully I don't step on any water moccasins. Here's a Tampensis alba. This is a 4N one. I don't know if it's gonna show up on film or not. On a piece of cork there, it's Tampensis alba. This is getting ready to bloom here. This is Encyclia aspera. That one's got a very funky smelling flower. Another Tampensis growing on one of the pieces of the oak tree that fell in the hurricane. Encyclia Tampensis. Encyclia Tampensis. Encyclia Tampensis. Another Tampensis. And would you believe it or not, more Tampensis. Oh, guess what? Another Tampensis. Oh, that one behind the Mariae right there is actually kind of got a nice looking flower. That one right there is that one's all right, I guess. Here's a Myrmecophylla, another Albopurpurea. Looks like the bugs pollinated it. The flowers are already closing up. See, when you got this many pollinators around, guys, all your orchid flowers get pollinated, you can't enjoy them. I mean, I'm all about save the bees. I mean, I like bees as much as the next guy, but the darn things pollinate all my nice flowers. I can't see them. You know, I guess that's the price. I mean, the orchids they're not really giving anything to the bees except for the scented oils. I mean, most orchids don't provide pollen, or, I mean, they do provide pollen, but not pollen that's edible for the pollinators, and they're definitely not providing nectar. Some of them do, like Ingram, but most orchids are just deceptive flowers. So, I like the pollinators, but I wish they would leave the stuff alone that I don't want to be pollinated. We're gonna go look at another Tampensis tree. Now that we got some more flowers on it, more of these are open. How about them apples? I mean, they're just countless, thousands of flowers. Thousands and thousands of flowers. And the aroma coming off of this tree is, to put it in the words of that guy from The Princess Bride, this is inconceivable. This is one. This one's got a rounded lip, which is not very attractive for an award quality Tampensis, but I like how it is kind of rounded and symmetrical. It's very, I don't know, I just like it. Here we have Catherine's favorite Encyclia. Probably so dark you're not going to be able to see it on camera because we're in shadow here and the pigment is so dark it almost looks black. But it smells like sour candy and like kind of jasmine-y and vanilla-y at the same time, but they're definitely that pungent aroma. Another Tampensis. I know we already made a Tampensis video, guys, so I'm sorry. We're gonna look at some more. Catherine may have already showed you all this. Dendrobium white grace. Excellent, excellent choice. If you have the opportunity to purchase one of these plants, I highly recommend that you do, because this plant is very productive. You get a lot of bang for your buck. We have Bratonia sanguinea, the regular form. This is Bratonia cayman. I think my wife is getting attacked by the bird. I'll leave her to that. She can deal with it on her own. We have Bratonia cayman from Philip and his wife Elizabeth over at Brassavola Orchids. Great people. His dad is a well-renowned Bratonia breeder, Hamlin, Claude Hamlin. So I really like this one. There's two individuals up here, but this one here's got a big flower. So thank you, Philip, if you see this, for making this hybrid. I think this one's really cool. Glad I got one. And I'm not going to be able to get them down, but there's another Bratonia sanguinea up here, and a piece of a really nice Bratonia sanguinea red. That was a gift from someone pretty special. Crikey, looky there. Right there we got a wild Vanda in her natural habitat. Oh, we don't want to get too close. Let's take a good look at her. This is Vanda Delight. And they're very prone to foliar spots, so she lives out here on the tree. Believe it or not, another Myrmecophylla albopurpurea. And guess what? More Tampensis. Tampensis everywhere. Here's a volunteer Myrmecophylla. This one, it didn't volunteer in place here. It came off another orchid mount, but I put it here just because other Myrmecophyllas do well here. So it's going to be pink, whatever it is. And we're walking. Here we have a very sad looking Vanda Tesuquan. Smells great though. I love this flower. Some more Tampensis. Nice big Tillandsia utriculata. Here you can see there's some Some new baby Tempensis by the looks of it, and a bunch of Cattleya, utriculata or fasciculata. We got both of them growing around here. Another Encyclia Tempensis. It's a big clump there. Alright, let's keep walking. I think we've seen all the Tempensis over here. But one more time. I like this one's got a little bit of flaring in it. It's got a flared flower. Just a tiny bit. Let's talk about something. Myrmecophylla is needing a lot of sun. Here we have an unbloomed seedling of Myrmecophylla grandiflora. And you heard that right, this is an unbloomed seedling. This plant has never bloomed before, and you can see it is starting to turn quite yellow as the sun moves from this side of the sky up over top of us. So we got sun right there shining on it. Now this one is a division of a blooming plant, and this one has bloomed. This is another one of those volunteers, is a pink thing. But this is grandiflora, y'all, and it's starting to turn that nice yellow. So maybe next year we'll see some flowers on this guy. And you can see where I put it right here. This is facing, I'm standing on the more northern side of the house. So where I'm standing is more direction north. And so this was not getting a lot of light. But now as the plant shifts and grows towards the sun where it wants to be, we're getting much more photosynthesis. You can see the chlorophyll production has reduced because the plant is not going to make more chlorophyll than it needs to, and it's turning that nice lime yellow green color, and that's the color you're looking for. So last year most of this plant had that nice dark green foliage, which it looks nice, but it's not conducive for blooming Myrmecophylla. You want them to start turning this yellow color. And then up here we have a single flower on Papilionanthia Therese. That's another plant, those terete style Vandas, the Papilionanthes, they need a lot of sun. But there you go, guys. This Myrmecophylla grandiflora is finally making its way over here towards the sunny side of the tree. What you looking at?
Jesus.
Did I scare you?
A little bit. You're very quiet.
Podium paniculatum. And this Myrmecophylla is still not blooming. This is exultata. Alright, we saw this in the last video, guys, but Catherine wants y'all to see Dendrobium Lloyd Mortimer again. It's kind of a sad plant. It doesn't get much attention out here. Rarely does this plant get any fertilizer. There's also a very sad looking Encyclia cordidra growing in there. But this is the live or die area. And luckily the Dendrobium has decided to live.
All right, you guys, that was our What's in Bloom June edition. And I know it wasn't much, but it's a hot one here in South Central Florida. So we're just happy to have some flowers to show you guys. But as they continue to open, we will show you more, don't you worry. And hopefully we can get back in the swing of posting more videos. Hopefully things will slow down a little bit. And we do have our Georgia vacation planned at the end of this month, so you guys will get to come along with us for that as well too. So
yes, the summer heat is really hard on a lot of orchid flowers, so oftentimes what does flower ends up wilting really quickly, prematurely, so it's hard to have a bunch of nice flowers in the heat, what do you call it, a heat stretch like we're having that's, you know, with not a lot of rain.
So that leads me to my next point, where if you want to see fresh flowers, you should follow us on Instagram at Ingram Orchids and More, and engage with us over there. We show some pretty pictures there where we can kind of save the flowers and enjoy them for a little bit longer. But we hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let us know what's blooming in your collection in June. We'd be happy to hear what you got going on. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Happy growing!
Bye, guys.